Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to go through the actual programming of the ESC itself. So first of all, connecting it up, we need to remove our interference bind cable, loop cable. We need to plug that. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see a bit better. We need to plug that into, I'm going to flip it around the other way because it's easier, because I have to get to these wires to it. So your brown wire goes to, there's two sets of plugs here. This set of plugs is the, let's see if you guys can see that, yep. This set of plugs here is the one that goes to the ESC, and this set of plug here is the one that goes to your battery, or your comes from your receiver itself on a spare channel, any spare channel except for the bind port on the icon, or you'll burn it up. Okay, so basically the leftmost port, when it's upside down like this, the leftmost prong on each one of those terminals is earth, so you need to have the brown or the black, depending on what type of connector you're using, will go to the left hand prong. So this one goes to the ESC. Okay, everything's powered down at the moment. This one here goes to the receiver, or comes from the receiver. So it's going to be it's going to liven up the unit. Okay, so basically that's how you leave that for now. And we're going to power up the main battery system first. So I'm running 12S. Motor's disconnected, so you can't run it up. So that's going to connect. And that shows me a little light in here. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, you can. That one on there. Now that's actually set up, but it won't arm. Okay, now I'm going to turn my radio on. And I'm going to now power up the my receiver unit. Okay, that little tune tells me that it's going into program mode. Okay, so what we need to do now is I'll zoom in here to the card. And I'm actually going to zoom in a bit better for you. I'm actually going to spin this around so that you can see it about now. Okay, so what we've got to do here, my hands are going to look all funny and upside down, but that's the best way I can do it. We've got the top left and the bottom left buttons. The top left scrolls the LED across this way to select these down parameters. These ones here, up and down. This one here moves them down, and then the enter button over on this side. Okay, so what we need to do first of all is set your timing for this particular model, which for your motor, so you need to figure out what that is. I've set mine at 18, so you can scroll across using this button here until you get to the selected item you want, then press the enter button and the alarm will sound, which tells me that the ESC program. Okay, now we move down to brake. Heli, we want to set that off. Now we're going to go down to cut-off type and EQ type. So basically what you do here is you're going to select two options. Cut-off voltage, I'm going to set mine to, set it to the EQ type, set it to slow down for a heli. So scroll across and then enter. And then we want to go across to where it says LiPo, because we're running LiPo, so we go right across to the end and then enter. Alright, so we're going to go down to the next one, cut-off voltage. I'm going to get mine set at 3.1. Scroll down again, cells. Okay, now the first set of columns is from it auto detects 0 to 4 cells, but you have to program from 4 cells up. So I'm running 12, so I've got to actually go down again to the next set of cells and go across till I get to 12 and then enter. Okay, special functions, I don't need to set any special functions, so we're just going to go scroll down through the top again and make sure we've got everything set. I've got set 18 degrees, timing, break off, AccuType, slow down, and cut-off voltage 3.1, 12 cells. And I'm going to double check to make sure that the LiPo takes and the slow down takes as well. See if it takes. And if for some reason it's not taking that LiPo, I'm going to get down to the LiPo and go across. Come down. Okay, so now to get into the second page, what we need to do is press and hold these two together for about 2 seconds and it goes. Okay. So what we need to do here for a helicopter, I'm going to be running GovStore because I reckon it's really good. So I'm going to give it a go. So I'm going to set freewheel to on. I'm going to go to GovStore on first and enter. And then come back through again and go freewheel on and then enter, and then scroll down to the next option. My P gain is, I'm setting mine for 1.2, my I gain has to go on the same row, which is 0.05, so it's the same row as the first one. Heli speed, startup speed, I've got mine set to low, but I can set it to middle, we'll see what happens. Scroll down to PWM frequency. Now this is where you make sure that you set it to the one that we calculated with the calculator. So 12. And startup power, I'm going to set mine to auto and see how that rolls. Okay, then scroll down again, press enter, and it will reinitialize and you can go back through and check all your settings. Okay, hang on, we need to go back up here. So we've got GovStore and freewheel on. We've got our P gain, we need to make sure we set that to the same as the I gain, which is right. Startup speed, heli middle, I've got it 12 kilohertz. And auto for my power startup. So we're just going to go back into the normal mode, page 1 again, and just double check. We've got freewheel on and, I'll go down to timing. We've got 18 degrees, break off, we've got slow down and LiPo set up. We've got our voltage is low volt cut is what 3.1, 2.4 to 3.1. Cells, I've got, didn't take cells for some reason. So you've got to go through and double check them. 12, and that's it. So now what we need to do to disconnect it, you need to make sure you do that the correct way as well. And that is disconnect the ESC first, and what it will do, wait for the light to go out. Light's gone out. Then power off your controller and then disconnect. Okay. Now what it's going to do is we're going to put this through learning mode for the I gain, and what this is going to do, it's going to spin the motor up now, and it's perfectly harmless in this environment that I've got set up, but I don't recommend you do this inside unless you really know what you're doing, or you've got your pinion backed out or your motor backed out, so your pinion's not going to engage anything, so you need to double check that first before you start powering things up. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to set the governor store. Right, I've still got my pitch curve set on, my throttle curve, I've still got that set on 0 to 100 linear. I've got that at 0 at idle or low stick. What's going to happen now is it's going to basically test the ESC is going to test the motor to see how fast it can make that run, and once it gets to its peak, you'll hear it make a little pause, and then it will stay constant, and then once it's got to that point, it's locked it in, you bring it down to idle, and then we'll disconnect. So let's do that now. So we're just going to arm it up. So this is for gov store. As you can hear, it's revving up higher and higher. You hear it go pause, well, that means it's at the peak there. Okay, so now we've got to disconnect here. ESC power down first, wait for the light to go out, which has gone out. Now power down your control. Now what we need to do to test it, we'll go into the menus again, and what we're going to do is we're going to go back into the throttle curve, and we're going to change the throttle curve to a constant throttle curve, so it's got to be flat line right across. So I'm going to start at, say, 50%, bring that up to 50%, bring these ones up to back down to 50%, bring that down to 50%. Okay, now check your second curve. I've got my second curve on my idle up running at 75%, so that'll be my stunt mode. Because it's a DX7, it's only got one option. If you've got a DX8, you'll be able to go up to the next option and go up higher if you wish for some real smack 3D, I guess. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to make sure our little cable's connected back into the signal line to stop any interference build up. That's step one. And then we can power up the unit. And we'll plug in the batteries in a minute once it's initialised. So what we're going to do here is just check to make sure that this is going to work, the actual governor store. So that's Okay, that hasn't worked. Okay, so power up your controller or your BEC or whatever you like. Let that initialise. Make sure you got your throttle hold on because we've got a flat line now, so we need a throttle hold on. Oops. And connect up. Okay, that's initialised. So now what we're going to do is, as soon as I take the throttle hold off, it should actually start spooling up, even though I'm in low stick because it's a flat line curve at 50%. So okay, so that's at 50%, so it's consistent with my stick. And now if I want to go to idle up, so that's consistently at idle up now. So it doesn't matter if I'm 0 or full stick. Okay, so then I can go down, back down to my normal pitch, and then you can land it and throttle off with your throttle hold. And that's pretty much how it works. So I'm going to go and fly that because it's going to be hopefully consistent, and it should be good to go. Oh, also make sure that you're running your voltages in your batteries at 4 volts. Okay, so that the governor store can learn so that it's got some overhead, so it can actually work a little bit under. So if you're running it at 4 volts per cell, or 3.9, 3.8, whatever, it's got plenty of overhead rather than having a full set charge, because it only learns this once, and once you've got it set at 4 volts, it'll know that once you're connecting up a high voltage battery that's full, it's got some overhead to work with. Okay, alright, so there are some key important points there, and we'll see how we go. So definitely once you've got that curve sorted, you need that throttle hold on or it won't arm properly. I'll demonstrate. If we disconnect, let the light go out, turn your controller off. I'll leave this idle, the hold off, so my throttle holds off, and now I'm going to power up the unit. And now I'm going to connect my ESC up. And it won't arm until I put my throttle hold on. Once I put my throttle hold on, I can now go. And away it goes. So I'll be adding pitch here, of course. So that's consistently at 50%. Then that's at idle up 1. So that's working really good now. So basically, put your throttle hold on, crank it down, and then just have a feel of it. It's starting to get just nicely warm, but they do run quite hot, the Scorpions, anyway. So yeah, that's how I set mine up and how I figured it out, because just there's a lot of misinformation out there and it's really hard to understand some of it. Some of them rush through the steps and stuff, so I've kind of done a few experiments, made a few stuff ups along the way, and but I've ended up, I think, with a good result. It's going to be really good to test this out to see if it works as good as they say it does. So I'll be looking forward to the maiden flight on my 6:30. Okay, well thanks for watching, and we'll catch up with you soon. Cheers.